If you like this tutorial, please subscribe to my channel because I'm planning on making a lot more tutorials. So the yarn that I used is worsted, and you can use any brand you like as long as it's worsted. Crochet hook I used is 6. In US terms this is a J hook. We start with a slip knot, like this. Then we chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are now going to make half double crochet stitches where we will skip the first 2 stitches because they are turning chains. So yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all loops together. Now move to the next stitches and continue making half double crochet stitches. So we now have 7 half double crochet stitches, and at the end you chain 2 and turn your work. The first stitch of the new row will be a normal half double crochet stitch. Then we are going to make 5 half double crochet stitches in the back loops only. And the last stitch is going to be a normal half double crochet with 2 loops, like this. At the end we chain 2 again and then turn our work. We are now going to repeat this row until our work is long enough. My rib was long enough after 40 rounds, but if you need a smaller head, then go ahead and make less of these rows. And a normal half double crochet at the end of the row. I will see you when the rib is long enough. So my brim is long enough now, and I'm now going to close the 2 ends, and then I hold the ends like this. Now I'm going to make slip stitches in the back loops only. So insert yoke in the back loop only and slip stitch. Make sure to fit the brim around your head, because the size can differ depending on what yarn you use. And the last one. We have now closed the brim and start making the next stitches in the rounds. If you've made 40 rows like I did, then we are now going to increase to 60 stitches, and every row counts as 1 stitch. And we will start with 1 single crochet, and then we make 2 single crochet stitches in the next stitch. And this is what we will do for the whole round. It might be hard to see where you have to insert your hook, but just make sure you get 60 stitches even around the rib. And I will see you at the end of this row. At the end we will close the round with a slip stitch in the first single crochet, like this. Please make sure to count if you have enough stitches. It should be an even number, preferably 60, but if you're making a smaller head, then any other number should be fine too. The next row we will make 1 half double crochet stitch in every stitch. I make the first stitch in the same stitch as where I made the slip stitch, like this, and then you just half double crochet around. I will see you at the end of this row. So I'm at the end of the row now, and again I will make a slip stitch in the first half double crochet of the row. The next row we will need pink yarn, and I am carrying the pink yarn the whole round, and when I need to make a heart I will grab the pink yarn. So we start with 3 normal gray stitches, and again I make the first stitch in the same stitch as the slip stitch. So 1, 2, and as you can see here I start with carrying the pink yarn, and 3. I make it around the pink yarn so that we will not see it. So I made 3 normal gray stitches, and now I'm going to make a pink heart, and I will do it as following. I start with the pink yarn like this, and then I finish off the stitch with gray like this. And then again I make 3 normal gray stitches where I put the pink yarn behind my gray yarn so that you cannot see it. And when I need to make a pink heart again, then I can use the pink yarn immediately. 3. We pull up a pink loop and we yarn over and pull through with gray. And that's actually it. Repeat this for the whole round. And I'm at the end of the row again. My last stitch will be a heart. And then again I slip stitch in the first stitch of the round, which is this one. The next row we will make half double crochet stitches in every stitch, and again I start in the slip stitch from the previous row. And I will see you at the end of this row. Yes, this round we will start making hearts again with pink yarn. So the first stitch will be in the slip stitch from the previous row, and then we make another gray stitch, and as you can see we are now in the middle of the previous heart row. So now I start making a heart, and then again I will make 3 gray stitches followed by a heart till the end of the row. So the first 2 stitches will make sure that you will end up in the middle of the hearts of the previous row. So continue making 1 pink heart and 3 gray stitches till the end of the row. At the end of the row we will make 1 more gray stitch because we started with 2 and we need 3 in total. And then we slip stitch in the first stitch of the row. And next round again we will make half double crochet stitches in every stitch, and as you can see the first stitch is made in the same stitch as the slip stitch of the previous row, and a slip stitch in the first stitch of the round. So the next round we will make hearts again, and to start in the middle we will start with 1 gray stitch in the same stitch where the slip stitch was made, and then we will make a heart. So we start with pink and finish it with gray. And then the whole round we will make 3 gray stitches followed by a pink heart till the end of the row. As we started the row with 1 gray stitch, we now have to make the last 2 gray stitches and then a slip stitch in the first stitch of the row. So if you like this design, you can just continue making rows like this. Make sure you start every row in the middle of the previous heart row. The next row we will make a pink heart and a gray heart till the end of this row. So we start in the same stitch as the slip stitch, and we will start with a pink heart to make sure that we will end up in the middle. So this is the pink heart, and then we make a gray stitch, which will also look like a heart, and then again a pink heart, and a gray heart, and we will continue this for the whole round, and I will see you at the end. So I just made my last gray stitch, and now I will slip stitch in the first stitch of this round. And the next row we will do the same, except we will now start with gray. So we make a gray stitch in the first slip stitch, and then we make a heart stitch. We will continue making these hearts, and I will see you at the end of this round. My last stitch is a pink heart, and then I will slip stitch in the first stitch of the round. So the next round we will do exactly the same. We start our first stitch with a pink heart, and then we will make a gray stitch. We will continue making this till the end of the row. And my last stitch will be a gray stitch because we started with pink, and I will slip stitch in the first stitch of the round. So from now on our main color will be pink. So what we first did with gray will now be the pink color. We will make one more row with hearts like we did before, and the first stitch will be a gray stitch. So we start with gray and finish it off with pink. The first stitch is made in the same stitch as the slip stitch, and the next stitch will be a pink stitch. And then again we start with gray, finish it off with pink, and the next stitch will be a pink stitch. We continue making this for the whole round. My last stitch will be a pink stitch. So we start with a pink single crochet in the first stitch and a second, and that's number 3 pink stitches, and then we will make a gray heart like this, and then again 3 pink, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 gray heart like this. We will continue making this for the whole round. And now I will slip stitch in the first stitch of the row, which is here. And like we did before, the next row will be half double crochet stitches with pink this time. So we start in the same stitch as the slip stitch, and now we are going to make 1 half double crochet in every stitch like this. And I will see you at the end of this row. The next row we are going to make 3 pink stitches followed by 1 gray heart. And to start in the middle of this row, we should first make 2 pink stitches like this, and the second one. And now we start making a gray heart like this, followed by 3 pink stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and then again, and of course a slip stitch in the first stitch of the round. So the next row we will start decreasing, and we will do this by making 1 normal half double crochet followed by a decrease. So the first stitch is made in the same stitch as the slip stitch, and then the decrease we insert the hook in the front loops only like this, and then we pull up a loop and we finish it off like a normal half double crochet. So we repeat this, make 1 normal half double crochet and then decrease the front loops only. I am at the end of the row again, and I will slip stitch in the first stitch of the row, and now I have 40 stitches. The next row we will start with a gray heart like this, and then we will make 7 pink stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now the next stitch will be a gray heart again, like this. And we will slip stitch in the first stitch. And we are going to make half double crochet stitches, and we decrease around. So the first stitch is the same as the slip stitch combined with the next stitch, and then just decrease around all stitches. We had 40 stitches, and by doing this we will end up with 20 stitches. So I'm making the last decrease now, and slip stitch in the first stitch. It should look like this, and now we will leave a long end about this, and we cut the yarn. And now we are going through all last stitches that are left. That should be 20 if you use the same amount of stitches as I did. So we just go through all the last stitches like this. I'm almost there. You pull tight and then the head is closed. And if you like, you can add a pom-pom over here. Personally, I like this a lot, so I will do that. But of course you can also keep it like this, just closed, and yeah, your head is done. So if you want to make a bun head version, it's almost the same, except that in the end you don't close the top. But I also noticed that sometimes the head is too long for a bun head version, so on my site you can find a pattern that's a bit shorter, because I skipped these 2 rows. So make sure to check out the written pattern on my site, because the last rows can be a bit different, but it's basically the same.